Hey guys, welcome to a post-Hanukkah Christmas Festivus episode of Kerbal Space Program. I've been using .18 for a while now. We're on version .18.2. I figured that instead of making lots of videos about stuff that I barely understand at this point, I'd rather I had to spend some time learning how to really work the game at this point because it's so different than it was in .17. So hopefully that'll my added expertise will make up for some things. As you can see, one of my saved games here is Viper Refueled, and what I did was I made the Viper that I've been working on, I think since .16 or early .17. I managed to make a single stage to orbit version of it, and I was so happy because it took me about 30 tries to get it there. At this point, I'm pretty sure that it was just dumb luck that let me get it up there, because I've tried I tried for I think 3.5 hours on Christmas Eve just to get it into orbit, and I cannot do it. I don't know if it's because of changes between .18.1 or .18.2, but I guess I'm going to have to go ahead and figure that out. I'll show you guys the version that I have in orbit. It's an old one from the last version. I haven't been able to get this, like I said, into orbit this time, but I'll show you that it's in there. I mean, I learned docking, but I didn't actually dock. I used probably did it backwards. I used the refueler here to get it into. I used the refueler, get it into orbit. This piece right here up until you see there's a little connection here. I connected it here, but I used this big ol' honkin' thing to get it into docking. I didn't use the Viper to do that. So hopefully I'll be able to basically replicate this. Kerbal is our intrepid tester for this. I'm hoping actually to use this save. It's kind of cheaty, but I want to use it to get to the moon and to other planets because I'm completely refueled. This has very low fuel, but I was hoping to keep it in there and just keep refueling maybe 2 or 3 of these Vipers. But the number one problem that I have right now is getting this thing up on camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, maybe you guys, it'll be a good luck charm and I'll be able to do it, but I'm not sure that that's going to be the case. So we're not going to end the flight. We're going to go to the Space Center. Going to go to the runway, and I'm going to load up I'm going to use the underscore version because that's the one that I did some slight tweaking to it. The things that I know have changed for this version are the monopropellant, the RCS, has been nerfed to Oblivion. The thrusters use up RCS like crazy, and even though instead of only 25 you get 100 units, it's like useless. So I can't say that I'm happy with that change, especially because I think it might have affected the weight, which is what's really screwing up my ability to get into the air. I just hold on the brakes really quick. Free camera. I use my joystick. Okay, brakes are held. So this is basically the design. The stage where I'm using these jets actually seems to be more efficient than it used to be. I can get to about 20 kilometers in the air, which will put me roughly about a quarter of the way through the dark blue section here, out of the thickest layer of the atmosphere. But what ends up happening is if I can't use the rocket motor and the turbojets at the same time, what'll end up happening, I guess I'll just start this and I'll tell you along the way. So full throttle, don't use staging. I set it up just like Harvester's Eris. So 1 activates the turbojets. At about 100 meters per second, I'm going to pull back. And basically you have to be really careful. If you pitch up too much, you'll flip it over. So SAS is a must. So I'm going to start pulling back here about moderate and stop. Now I'm pulling off the runway. I'm going to pull back a little bit more, And a little bit more. There we go. Okay. It's not exactly perfect. There we go. Gear up. While this climbs, because it's going to take a bit, I'm going to level off at about 10 kilometers in the air. Not level off perfectly, but probably to about the 20 degree mark. The real problem I've been having with this is the rocket motor won't basically maintain speed. This rocket motor in 18.1, I believe they had already nerfed the aerospike, because the aerospike apparently was ridiculously overly efficient and powerful for what it was. But my original design, you'll see there's two fuel tanks. There's one here and one here, and I actually had, you know, two of the gimbaling rocket motors, but it was way too strong. Like, they would completely throw this thing. It was way too powerful, so I had to really scale back the power. But I might have to actually put that back, because this rocket motor, once I activate it, I'm actually going to start losing speed despite being well out of the atmosphere. And what that does is that basically is going to kill my chances of getting into orbit. I've gotten to about maybe 100,000 in my apoapsis, but I actually have to keep my throttle at full in order to do that. So I'm going to show you guys basically how this thing behaves. The RCS thrusters, which actually I think is going to be a problem, because oh no, I never added them over here. I probably should do that. That makes it really hard to control in space, but pitching and rolling is pretty much okay, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. Right now the problem is just getting into space. This thing, I can get it up to like 1 kilometer per second in the atmosphere, but the second I climb over about like 21 kilometers, I just can't really. It's when the rocket stage activates that it's a real problem. So there we go, and I'm going to drop the nose a little bit, drop it a little bit more. I'm not even touching anything, I'm just letting it kind of cascade down on its own. So now we're going to start picking up a lot more speed. Up, 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 up. Joffrey is really enjoying himself. Everything's good. As you can see, I've attempted quite a few landings on the landing strip down there. I was really upset at the fact that one of the last ships that I built in 0.17 that I faithfully recreated in this version does not work anywhere near as well. The speed's lower. It looks awesome still, but I'm not even using it anymore because it's just not as efficient and good. It might just be due to the air intake system that these turbojet engines only really work very efficiently in the upper atmosphere now, and they've actually implemented that. But I'm hoping that's not the case. Or actually, I'm sorry, I'm hoping it is the case, just because that would make me feel better about it not being my design being created right. So we're picking up a lot of speed, but we need a ton more speed. I'm gonna do it this way. This is the exact way that I was doing it in the last version. So I'm gonna make sure basically when I hit the 2 key, it's gonna activate the rocket motor, and then if I hit the 3, it's gonna kill the atmospheric air breathers, and it's going to close down all of my intakes, which should reduce the drag. But it really doesn't seem to matter, because no matter what I do, that rocket motor, even at full blast, is not strong enough. And I remember having to actually scale it down to about 50% or 40% because it would have so much thrust that it would pitch me over. Now I'm able to maintain my airframe, but it's you'll see. We're quickly approaching where we need to go at about 21 or 22. I might even get a flame out here, I'm not sure. Yeah, see, I'm going full blast, but I'm losing speed here, and I'm not increasing in altitude quick enough. I'm gonna try to pitch back a little bit. Okay, RCS to stabilize and turn you off. Even with that better angle, I'm not, I'm not punching through the atmosphere quickly enough. And as you could see, I actually had to turn off those engines because the shift in the fuel just took it out of control. I'm about 50% through the atmosphere, and I should be taking off vertically so much faster now. Once we get to about, it's using the fuel so quickly, I don't think I'm going to be able to make this happen. Yeah, we're about to reach a kilometer per second soon. I'm going to pop on RCS, and I'm going to pull back a little bit, and a little bit more. Don't lose control. Okay, stop. Just gotta get out of this atmosphere. Turn off RCS. Oh, whoa, gotta turn that back on. That's not good. See, I gotta use a lot of RCS just to keep this thing from going out of control. Getting a lot of horizontal speed, but it's just not working to the level I'd like. Okay, come on. Don't do this to me here. See, it just starts getting really wonky and difficult to control once we get here. We are gaining altitude. Yeah, okay, that's going up still. I don't know, guys. I don't think it's going to make it just because I have very little of anything left. Yeah, this has got to climb a lot more. And my monopropellant's almost halfway out. I mean, I don't have this one didn't even achieve all that high of an orbit. I'm only about like 50 kilometers now. I'm about halfway out of monopropellant here. Just climbing so slowly. Hoping that I can just punch through the atmosphere enough, and then I just need a low burn and I'll be able to get through, but I think I'm going to run out prior to that. It's just holding me back here. I only ended with about 9 units of fuel, so once I'm above, like my apoapsis is above the atmosphere, which I think is about 70 or so, yeah, I'm gonna coast to that. Turn off my RCS. And once I'm basically at apoapsis, I'll probably just burn off the rest of my fuel, hoping I can circularize. But ironically enough, this is pretty much the best I've been able to do on or off camera. I don't think I've done this. Hopefully I can get my Viper into orbit. While I wait to coast to apoapsis, I'm going to go down like this because I need to be roughly 90 degrees. Come on, quickly. And hold. RCS on. And let's start our burn. Let's circularize, please. put you down there. I think this is a new track. Please work. Oh my god, please work. I don't think this is gonna work, guys. We just don't have the fuel. Let's see, my most efficient burn possible. Full power. Let's get you into orbit. Come on, come on. Oh god, no, I'm burning out of control. I think I screwed the pooch on this one, guys. Had a monopropellant, just burn. Very close. Very close. That wouldn't have taken a whole lot more. I was about halfway around. Well, guys, now as we tumble out of control, I can try to land this, but I don't think it's going to go very well. Almost there. I think really what ruined it was I got way too hasty with the that last burn. I shouldn't have burnt full power. I mean, I'm going basically orbital velocity roughly. It's just, come on, lose altitude, but not structural integrity, please. I think this thing glides like a lawn chair, though. Landing in the mountains. Let's run like the thickest. I'm gonna try to regain control. There's almost no point to trying to watching as she tumbles helplessly out of control. Oh, this won't end well for you, Jeffrey, or whatever your name is. Come on, just pick up the air. Just pick it up slightly. Just kind of try to pick the air. No, I'm just sinking like a rock. Well, I'm sorry. Oh, well. He was a brave soul. He tried so hard. But, you know, maybe it is possible to actually get it in there, but you got to do it really capably. I'm impressed. I actually haven't been able to get it that neat in many tries. So what I'll do now is I'll restart the flight, and I will start it up again if I get back to that point that it was working well, because I know you guys probably don't want to see that whole process all over again. So I will meet you guys back at that time, and hopefully I will remember to hit the record key. Okay guys, I activated it now. It's a little early, but I'm hoping that this will work. About to reach about 40. I'm not burning it full either. RCS is really going down, though. But hopefully, we just really need to get out of the atmosphere. Our orbital is probably going to be okay to increase. It's going to be really tough, though. What's apoapsis look like? It's really going up. Let's make sure that that's all under control. RCS is about halfway. Just need to get about to 70 or so, and then I will cut throttle and turn off RCS. Okay. Hoping that doesn't drop too much. Maybe I should punch it a little bit more, just kind of get that out of the atmosphere. Very light burn. Have about 110 units of fuel, going at about 1700. Probably will be about 1600 by the time we get up there. I'm gonna try, because once the second we get out of the atmosphere, I think we're really gonna need to burn. Really gonna try to get us about level and hold it there. Let's see what our altitude is. Once we hit about 70, I'm gonna start a gentle burn. About a quarter power. Are we moving up a little bit? I don't think we are. I'm really not thinking we're gonna have enough juice again to get us through. Need to make sure that stays down there. About half our fuel that we had before. The sad music probably indicating that we're not going to stay in space today. Nope, definitely not gonna happen. Something inefficient about this burn, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. That wasn't even close. Low apoapsis like that. I mean, I could have burnt a little bit stronger. Not sure why this is happening the way it is. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out what these problems are. Maybe I can figure it out. Maybe I need to change my design. But I have gotten this thing into orbit before. So, see you next time, guys. And enjoy your holidays. Friends, family, if they're still around. And hopefully the next episode won't be too long away.